Nick. Hello, Nick. So, Nick, could you tell us something about yourself? It's like, what's your past like? Colorful, not colorful, whatever.
Okay, by vocation, after leaving college, I was in the Navy. I was a naval officer for a good 3 decades, 30 years. Before I went into the corporate life of doing office work. So, and I finally retired about 2 years back. So that I spent about easily 48 years working. Being in the service before, you have a lot of opportunity to run, to do all the physical. But once you start crossing into the office life, you tend to go lesser and lesser. And because of that, you also start to realize that a lot of parts here is not working the usual way. And one of them was my knee, because I was doing diving, and as a result, that non-consistent movement, you'll find that your degeneration part seems to surface faster. So that was when I started, the doctor advised, hey, stop running. You're going to...
Stop running.
Stop running,
Okay.
but do other forms of exercise. So I cycle, I walked. But I think the part of me that back in the head is that both my parents had all the highs. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, high sugar. And in fact, he told me that I'm going to inherit all this. That's my inheritance.
I see.
So, true enough, my blood pressure was going higher by BP, and as I go along, I also know that my blood sugar was also rising, but it was not alarming. And being young and immortal,
Yeah, we are young and immortal all the time, yeah?
I think the guys can testimony when you got a little bit here and then no, it's nothing. I must say that after working with my lady colleagues on that, the moment something wrong, well, they'll seek for all the attention. But the guys, nothing today, just a cold. And that's where actually a lot of the telltale signs you tend to ignore. So in my case was that I know my blood sugar was climbing, but I didn't think too much about it. I gave myself a lot of excuses, because Chinese New Year, because of Christmas, ate a little bit too much.
But you could have prevented it, right? I understand your wife takes a very different route.
Yes, my wife was, well, how many years back? About 12 years back, she was recovering from cancer treatment, so she underwent a lot of chemotherapy. And of course, in chemo, you lose a lot of immunity and strength. So thanks to Alvin, who was her colleague then, introduced her to CELERGEN. So I'm not...
Ex-army, yeah? Your wife was ex-army.
Yes, my wife was ex-army, like Alvin. And like I said, being young and immortal, I know about CELERGEN, but... I didn't. And first thing Alvin tells me was, hey, what if you need CELERGEN, why don't you go and pinch it from your wife? I think that would be suicidal.
I think that will kill him faster.
So anyway, to cut the story short, one of my medical checkup in June last year, the doctor told me, hey, you overshoot your entitlement. I now hit a 9.1 sugar level without food, meaning I've crossed into the diabetic sector. And that's, in a way, I'll say it's a wake-up call, because all along you're still thinking you're young and immortal, or not so young, but still immortal. So I approached Alvin and say, let me give it a try. So in July, I started my first dose of CELERGEN. First 2 months, nothing happened. But then on the 3rd month, notice it started coming here, and you can see from the slide below, I take very consistent self-check on my blood sugar, and it actually started coming down from the 3rd month. Until my next review, that was 6 months down, it dropped from 9.1 to 6.2. So with this drastic down, I think what I didn't expect was I also lost weight. I lost 10 kg. Okay, that's
Can you imagine?
You don't have to imagine the start state, but So I lost 10 kg, and on top of that, my blood pressure also started to stabilize, and energy level has gone up because after retirement, I was coached by my army counterpart, the army again, to play golf. In September, I played with him. After 9 holes, I wanted to die. Why golf course must have 18 holes? 9 holes is enough. Well, I really struggled through the 9 holes, and then after that, the next 2 days, I'm horizontal. Last month, I was brave enough to go with him this time to play Bandung. 3 days in a row, clocking 54 holes. I surprised myself too. And on top of that, the next day was a AMC course early in the morning, and I still survived it.
Wow. And I've gone to play golf with Nick as well, yes?
Yeah.
In JB.
So to a certain extent, I would say is that you may not believe it until you try it. And usually you need a little crisis in your life to actually realize, hey, don't take it for granted. All along it's been going up, but you didn't really take it. So if there's any message I would like to say is, don't wait. Look after it, keep it down. And I think that's the part that if there's anything I can share. And since I came on board, I've been trying to introduce it to friends who either have some issues with it. Not that we want them to just come on board, but I think health is an important thing. And I can probably safely say that for most of us here today, it's now can be an alarm bell if you just cross a red line.
Wow. He actually negotiated with his doctor not to start the diabetic medicine and give CELERGEN a try. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yep. Well done, Nick. Thank you very much. Thank you. So it's not all about sickness and getting old and all that. So sometimes it's preventable, sometimes you make it in time and turn back.